Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Havens. I am the director and writer of House of Flies and also self-proclaimed horror aficionado. Sitting here with my lovely guest, Sky Crystal. Sky, tell the people what you're about.
Hey, I'm playing Avery in House of Flies. I'm an Atlanta-based actor and an Idaho-born and bred metalhead. And I'm all for the gays and nays, having their Second Amendment. It's the most important time for that right now. So get out to a gun range with your homies and protect your neighborhoods, because that's life right now.
God fucking bless you, Mr. Potato Head. I really appreciate that. Awesome. Okay.
Has a sale on Hollow Points right now. Stock up.
They didn't sponsor us. Don't you? Don't give them that free promo. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've last chatted informally.
I know, right?
I think the last time was obviously the table read, which was wonderful. Bless you. I could tell that you were fucking exhausted, but you still made it anyway and fucking knocked it out of the park, cracking me up.
I will always be there for you, my guy.
Oh, I appreciate it. You have held true to that statement through and through, so I appreciate it. But yeah, you're inducting this whole thing, my man. You are my first guest, my first episode. You are kicking it off, guns out, everything. How's it been being a dad?
It's interesting because for a long time I didn't want kids. I didn't think I would be a good father. And now that I have a daughter, I think my only option is to be a good father. It's interesting because like my wife and I, we talk about it, how there's like, it doesn't matter how tired we are or like, how fed up we are with each other or anything. It's just like, you just find the way to keep going, which I think is really cool. You find the way to just like, keep at it. And even with, working in film, it made me focus up so much more. And like, especially, firing my agent and then just doing everything myself.
Oh, you fired your agent?
Yeah, that's a long story.
that's a whole other tale.
But yeah, I've just been self-submitting myself and, networking, auditioning, everything like that. Like, it's just busting my ass in a whole new way because it's like I'm supporting a family now. And, I was blessed to have great parents. And, I think they both had their own shit. And it's like they made sure that the least amount of possible of their shit ended up in my brother and I. So now it's my turn to make sure the least amount of my bad shit end up in my daughter. And it's a responsibility for sure.
Yeah, I hear it is. How are you balancing everything? Do you feel like it's manageable? Do you feel like it's more than you expected?
A lot of times I just feel the hardest thing for me is there's a lot of things I can't do because I am biologically unable to, like nursing, which is kicking my wife's ass, and I feel so bad for her. But she is the strongest woman I've ever met, and I'm just so grateful for her. And I think that's the hard thing, is just like the burden of motherhood on my wife, and like seeing what it's done to her, witnessing it, and like not being able to, like, I feel like Sam,
Yeah.
And my wife is my Frodo, and she's carrying the ring, which is my daughter. And it's like, I might not be able to carry it, but I can carry you. And that's how I feel.
Okay.
That's the hardest burden.
Hey, and that's hey, there could be worse. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that it sounds like everything is working out smoothly enough, And in terms of like you putting yourself out there, yourself, self-submitting, all that kind of stuff, do you feel like you're finding more luck in that than you did with an agent?
Yes, because a lot of my friends have jobs where they're locked down and everything like that, and they only submit like to Atlanta,
Okay. Yeah.
or they're in LA and they only submit in LA, or they're in New York and they only submit in New York. And like there are productions happening all over the country outside the big three. This year I've worked in San Antonio, Texas. I've worked in Richmond, Virginia, and I've worked in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I've I utilize rentals through Costco.
Yeah.
And I also have the Frontier Go Wild Pass.
Oh, I've heard great things.
Yeah, you pay a flat fee. Like it depends on when you can get in. I got in with the $3.99, and then they have like holidays blocked out, but you basically just pay the taxes and you can fly wherever. And I've been telling a lot of my actor friends to do that just because it's like if work isn't in your vicinity, go to the work. And and that has really helped.
You are a go-getter, sir. You said, I want it, I'm going to get it. Just call him Ariana Grande.
But also it helps when you write a great fucking script, you know?
Stop it.
No, dude, like, out of all the scripts that I've read that aren't, fucking Academy Award winners.
Right.
Like, dude, you are definitely in the top 2 of all the scripts that I've read. So, House of Lies, yeah.
That means a lot. I am so grateful to have found you. And it's so funny that you came in at the last fucking second, Sky. We had done callbacks and everything. And then Jamie, who was still working with us at the time, she was like, wait, before you make a decision, I think you should meet with this guy. And I was like, all right, let me read with him real quick. Let's see what he got. And then as soon as we got off that call, I called Chris and I was like, oh my God, I want him. I was like, we need to hire him. That is Avery, dude. That is fucking Avery.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but that same thing keeps happening on every production. But it's also probably because I wait till the last minute to submit my shit. Like the very last minute. It happens all the time. Where I'll get it done. I'll submit it last minute, or I'll miss it. But I'll miss it like barely by minutes. So I'm fucking going through Actors Access. I'm like, okay, casting director. Okay, I gotta find this bitch on IMDb Pro. Okay, that's her email. Okay.
Now that you mentioned it, what are your opinions on Actors Access?
Well, I understand that on the other side, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
But for me, compared to casting networks and Backstage, it's so much easier because it's like I can go through every region and book wherever I want.
Yeah.
I can. And then it also has the like auditions where I just click auditions and I can see like what's waiting for me, where casting networks, it's like I have to go through all the different alerts, but all the alerts don't have anything like always to do with exactly what I need.
Right.
Like with like auditions or callbacks or things like that, it could be, hey, these are the roles that you should apply for. So it kind of acts more like an email rather than an organizational site, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. They just really piss me off that they want me to pay them to upload my media. That's all. That's all.
Same.
I mean, I get it. They have to make their overhead too, and they're not really going to do that without putting some sort of monetary value on things. It definitely just goes to show that acting as a career it's a privilege. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily easily accessible, especially when there are those kind of like barriers and doors that some
Yeah.
people, really talented people, you know what I mean, probably just can't
Yeah.
put up. But I also understand the other side of it. It's a business, and you got to make your money somehow.
I mean, the nice thing is that they've switched it up so you can upload like clips
Oh, they
instead of
have.
uploading like a whole reel every time, which I've really appreciated.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you get a scene back and you can edit it down to however much you want and then just upload it and just pay for that scene rather than having to like redo your reel, place everything together and then re-upload it, which I really appreciate. So
That's true. See, apparently I've just been too deep in the producing and directing and writing side of things because I did not even know that they had changed that. So that's good to hear.
we'll get you back in the game, submitting and shit.
Eventually, I'll get back there. I'm happy with where my focus is right now.
Yeah, dude, that sweater looks sick.
Oh, you like it?
Oh yeah.
Representing. We out here in Roanoke right now. As you can see.
Hell yeah, dude. How is it going up there?
It's going great, actually. We just had the first official day of Screamiverse here. The booth setup looked awesome. We had a lot of people stop by. They loved the visual concept, the story concept. Follower counts going up. I met somebody, a filmmaker who was working with Marco's Got Money Troubles. Have you heard about that series with Elle Fanning?
Yes.
On Showtime, I believe. Yeah, they're working with one of the main actresses from there, and we were talking business, and basically she was like, give me your contact information. I'm going to keep up with you. Your goals are obtainable. And I'm like, oh, I love how that sounds.
What a pickup line.
Well, right, I'll take a great pickup line. Give me your contact.
Your goals are obtainable.
Your goals are like she's my fucking mentor or something like that. Like your goals are obtainable.
What's up, King? Your goals are obtainable.
But they had a film screening there at their film festival, a vampire movie. But it's just cool to be around other creatives, you know what I mean? And just talk shop and talk shit.
Yeah.
I have something I've been wanting to ask you about for a long time. You used to be in a metal band. I want to hear about this.
That was my core purpose from when I was 13 until I was 25 is I thought I was a musician. I thought I was going to be a touring musician the rest of my life.
What made you change that point of view? Like what made you go from, okay, I don't want to be a touring musician anymore. I want to do film or something. Yeah.
So the band that I was in that, I'd invested every inch of my being into, we broke up. And then right after that, my mom passed. And I was just like, after my band broke up, because I had been at that point from when I started being in bands at 13, I had been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different bands. And that band was obviously the one I'd been in the longest, but yeah, I just knew I couldn't do it again. And so I was like, I could do solo music.
Yeah.
I could write my own stuff. But I also was getting pulled into acting.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that I had met in St. George, Utah, where my band was. He had filmed some music videos for me. And I was like, I'm going to move to LA, get into acting. And he was like, I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to Atlanta to get into film. And I did my research and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, everything's filming out there. So yeah, he and I moved to Atlanta together. His name's Preston Taylor. He's responsible for the majority of my reel. He's a brilliant writer and director. And he's the reason I have such affinity for directors. And I have so much respect for them. And lots of folks have read my scripts and told me that I should direct, but I know because of him, I know what it takes to direct. the technical knowledge, which I do not have.
Yeah.
Like people try to talk to me about camera shit, and it's like they're trying to explain to me a card game, and my brain just turns off.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very much what it's been like. As somebody who's stepping behind the camera for the first time, it's literally I'll be sitting there in meetings and having conversations and just Googling at the same time, like, what the fuck are these people talking about? But at the same time, it's just been an incredible learning experience, you know? And the more that I learn, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to fucking do this. So I get where you're coming from. Absolutely.
I was so nervous about talking to you about Cayman. Sorry.
Yeah,
talking to you about Cayman. Yeah. I just realized I pulled out my nice mic and I was like, oh, they can probably hear me fucking chewing, but I'm starving. So
we're weaving that into the freaking audio, bro. Like that's
can you hear me chewing?
Audio effects right there.
But yeah, with Cayman, I was just kind of nervous because if like you want to write, direct, act in your own thing, absolutely. But I just, I've wanted to work with Cayman for a long time, ever since I met him. And I just like, as I read the script initially, I didn't know that you were going to be the lead at a certain point, and I like was just imagining him in the lead. And so I think that takes a lot to humble oneself. And I applaud you. I never wanted it to be something like, oh, I didn't think you were a great actor or anything like that, because when we did the scene, I was like, this motherfucker can throw down. But with like, as a director and a writer, I just wanted to put it in your atmosphere.
Yeah.
And if you gravitated to it, great. If you didn't, then I was just like, hopefully Cayman will get to work with Alex again in the future.
Yeah.
But thank you for not.
No, and like it was
being offended.
No, absolutely not. And it was funny because it wasn't, when you called me and talked to me about that, I was in here thinking, oh my God, this motherfucker's trying to recast me in my own movie. My thought was, oh my God, does he want out? Like, I was like, no. I was like, God, I don't want to lose this man, because you're like, I'll step back and take producer. And I was like, I think he's trying to get out. But then
No.
I had already, after all of the callbacks and the screen tests, I was overwhelmed. You know what I mean? In the sense that it was really hard, and not because it was like stressful, but because it was exciting, you know? So it was really hard for me, especially as a director and the writer of the script, to actually be able to focus in on my performance when I was so invested in y'all's, you know? When you brought that to me, like I told you, like, this film, there's really no ego in it for me. I just want it to happen. Like, I just want it to happen. I feel like we all love it the same, you know? So when you told me about Cayman, I was like, I mean, send him my way, you know, let me see what he has. And that motherfucker killed it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
The fucking first submission he sent me, I was like, I'm gone. I was like, I'm out. Like, he can have it. Like, it's all his, dude. And then I took it to Chris and Katie. I went over to their apartment and I was like, I have to talk to you guys about something very serious. And they were like, oh no. And I was like, I want to recast myself. And I pulled it up, showed them the submission, and they stopped and they looked at me like, okay, first, is this what you want? And I was like, this is what I want. And they're like, okay, good. Because us too. He is fucking good, dude. And then it was just
nice.
I think, especially seeing all together in the read through and the table read, like, solidified my decision to step back from that role even more. Y'all's chemistry was perfect. You know what I mean? Just in terms of exactly when I was writing it, that's how I saw it. That's how I felt it. But I'm curious, like, what did it feel like for you? Like, I'm sure you spent time with the script, but to actually like step into it with your ensemble, what did it feel like?
Well, I mean, the first time that we did a read through with Cayman, I was kind of nervous, you know, because like Cayman's kind of a big fucking deal in the vertical world, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Like, And I shouldn't even say kinda.
But
Like he's like a big deal in the vertical world. Yeah. And so I was kind of nervous about that because I mean, like we met in person one time and then we just, you know, talked casually on social media here and there. I was kind of nervous going into it because I also was like, you know, whenever you put somebody forth within your network, make a recommendation, you know, because I've been in a reading with somebody that I recommended for a gig, and the director absolutely hated them.
Oh shit!
And I was like,
oh shit!
This guy's never gonna trust my instincts ever again. And so there was that. But yeah, and then like, you know, how stoked you were to have him on board was great. And then you know, I think he jived really well with the cast. I don't think there'll ever be anybody he doesn't jive well with because he's so fucking charming.
Yeah, he is. That is charisma personified.
The table read was cool, I think, because you know, I think that you've done a fantastic job putting this ensemble together, and this asshole you put as the creature, the freaking.
Fucking Gavin,
dude, he went so hard in the table read. Fucking Gavin, like, went so hard in the table read. Like, I almost was like, I wasn't laughing at him. I was laughing because of how intense he was going at it, and I was like, genuinely impressed, you know. So
yes, he took it so serious. Yeah. Like down to the actions, like the freaking hand coming out of the darkness over the candle. I was like, wow.
I feel like you were there and you're just like, how do I grant raises in this industry?
Right. How do we get him paid more? No, for real. I'm so excited because he's going to come out to Louisville, the convention we're going to be at next month. And he's going to do first time in full costume, and he's going to be wandering the con and just hanging out. So I'm really excited to see.
That's brilliant.
It's going to be insane. That man is, and he's like freaking like what, 6'7", a giant.
Yeah.
Like, incredible. Oh, I have a question in terms of, because I'm very like, when it comes to inspiration, very musically adept. So like there's always, I always have a playlist. You know what I mean? If Avery had one for you, what would it look like?
A lot of, for Avery, what it's been is, you know, an individual that is chasing a feeling. And it's been interesting because I'm big on, like, I can't just like find a song, download it, throw it in a playlist. Yeah. I'm very much like, I need to understand the lore of the artist. I need to understand where they're from, what has brought them to this point in life. I have to like do my homework. I have to listen to the entire album. And so making that shift has been interesting. And like it's been a lot of EDM. Okay. But also a lot of the Smiths. And like a lot of times I'll just find things in the script that I'm like, okay. But with him, it's kind of just been like, I'll just like find like a random song like out in the wild, and then I'll be like, yeah, Avery.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Because, and I don't know if you knew this, but like in my lore for Avery is like, he has like his like top 3 best sex he's ever had. And in his mind, if he could just rotate between these 3 individuals the rest of his life, he'd be happy. And it's just been a long time since he's had his old beau. And in his mind, he's like, yeah, this is going to be a fun getaway. Going to get some, no matter how much I've hurt this dude, and then I'm going to get out.
You want to know what's so fucking funny about that, Sky? Is because when I was writing this, obviously, I had some frustrations to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you did.
And not all of them were romantically inclined. But when it was romantically inclined, the person you just described was exactly what I was letting out. Like exactly the same kind of behavior that just, we don't need to go there.
We're connected, dog.
We are connected.
We're connected
We're on that. We're on
so
that
many things.
drift compatible, bro. I love it. I love it.
Drift compatible.
Drift compatible, man. So, do you think Avery would be in a band? Do you think he would be a musician?
I think he lacks the focus to like hone in on a certain craft.
Yeah. Yep.
He has the gym, and he has work, and he has sex. And those are the three things that revolve around his life. I guess he has vacations too.
Yeah,
like I feel like he goes on vacations a lot.
Yeah.
But I have like a redeeming quality for him in that is that he has a cane Corso that he takes care of.
Okay.
And that's his baby. I
really respect and admire all of the depth and commitment that you put into characterizing a role, because I remember when we had that media day last year, and I was out there with each one, you kept pulling me back and you're like, I have a couple of questions for you real quick. And every single one, I was like, yes, sir. Get into the meat and potatoes of it. And like they kept trying to pull me back, and I was like, wait, hold on. He's got really good questions. Like, let the man speak. But no, I think the level of commitment that you bring into roles in general is really admirable. And I have to wonder, because obviously Avery is a shitty person, which can be fun and difficult to play, but you've also played like more darker characters than that. Like, aren't you in like a hitchhiker killer or something like that coming up?
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because and I think that's something that I was so excited about this script, was because like, especially like starting out, I did 4 features with this one director, and the first one that I came onto him with him, I was just like, all right, so this is what I'm thinking for the character. Like when he was a kid, like I'm just trying to like, Meisner the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And he like turns to me, puts his hand on his shoulder, and he's like, buddy, we're not making Shakespeare. And then he just goes back and like, yeah. And that was heartbreaking for me.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I would never put down somebody's willingness to commit to a role. I understand that like everybody's very different. All directors have very different techniques, very different styles, but I'm the kind of person, especially since I write my own material, like it's really nice to see somebody get into it just as much as I did, and on a more focused level, because obviously I can't do all that. Otherwise the film just becomes fucking fodder, and it's slow. The pacing's off. So like you have to, especially with horror, you have to keep it quick, cut, fast. So it's nice that even when that has to happen on my end, like someone like you is not allowing that to happen on the back end.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate that you recognize that, because as a writer also, I think on both our sides, we feel how important screenwriting is, character work is, all of that. We feel that and we know that. And just for it to be recognized on both sides, I think that's why we like, feel this whole thing so much.
Yeah. We definitely, it is very nice, because especially since, we're both such busy people and we don't get to keep up with each other as much as I like. It's nice that I can still sit down with you at any time and be like, okay, me and this dude, we're on the same page. We get it. We got it. We're good.
Hell yeah.
Very, very lucky to have found a wonderful actor like you, Sky Crystal, to come be on my little humble abode of flies.
Thanks, man.
You read the script. You're like, I fuck with it. Fuck with you. I'll do it. Like, so.
I wish that more funding could be delegated based on the quality of work rather than, I understand the business name attached, but
right.
If we did delegate funding based off of quality of a script, I think we would have significantly better films You know, I mean, 2025 was a great fucking year for film.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And I'm actually kind of excited about 2026 too. Like, I will
Yeah,
say,
dude.
I do feel really great about the way that cinema is going again, especially in terms I was feeling a little burnt out from Hollywood. You know what I mean? For a
Yeah.
bit, like everything that was getting churned out of the mill. But the past year and then this upcoming year, there has just been back-to-back hits, and not even necessarily ones that are Academy Award nominees or contenders. But last year I saw Clown in a Cornfield in theaters.
I didn't catch that. How was it?
It was great. It was great. I was watching it, and at the end of it, I was like, "This is what I'm talking about." Like when I set out to make House of Flies, I was like, "I want horror to be fun again. I don't want it to be so fucking such a drag."
My favorite film of last year was Hard Eyes.
Oh, I had so much fun with that movie. I'm really excited about the sequel.
Dude, I don't know whose dick I gotta suck to be in the sequel, but I
will help you find it, Sky. Don't worry.
This is a married father here who is willing to do awful things.
You're like, I'm no stranger to a casting couch. Horror in general has just been ramping up again too. It's just a lot easier to access in terms of filmmaking too. Horror is like the biggest return on investment genre wise within the past 10 years. So I think it's really fun to see it all ramping up again.
I think that goes back to the script again, is as I've studied, genre as well, the core theme of horror is trauma.
Yeah.
Yep. Like through and through, the core theme of horror is trauma, and however you want to unpack that. And I think that's what a lot of bad horror films forget.
Yeah.
Is that, and you definitely hit the nail on the head, and how, supernatural elements can coincide with that trauma and have it be a reflection of what we feel inside and kind of bring that shit out onto the screen.
As frustrated as I was writing that thing, I had a lot of fucking fun with House of Flies.
Good.
And I don't know if I ever told you this, but when I was a teenager, I was screenwriting all the time. I was writing shit back and forth, left and right. And then my computer just died one day, and I lost everything I had ever written, everything. So I gave up, that to me was okay, well, I'm not supposed to be doing this, it's not meant for me. The universe said, and then I woke up one night in the middle of the night 2 years ago, and I was like, holy fuck, I have an idea. And then a month later, House of Flies existed. And then 2 months later, you were in my life, it's just so crazy.
Damn.
It's just insane how much can happen for you if you just put yourself out there, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. I see TikToks all the time, I want to become a screenwriter, I want to become an actor, how do I do it? Just do it. Find, if you want to be a screenwriter, write something. If you want to be an actor, find stuff to audition for. And it is very much an industry of no. You know what I mean? The word no. But at the same time, there's a lot of great that comes from it. Because, I've been told no with this plenty of times. But I've been told yes as well. And the stuff that I was told yes to is stuff that I never would have even dreamed of as a kid.
I think the millennial curse is that we love tutorials and we love templates. And I think a lot of people come into this industry wanting a template for what to do, and I think especially the vertical industry, the YouTube industry has showed us that you don't need that. You can, there's so many different ways to go around it. And in this industry, honestly, there are no rules.
Yeah.
Especially when you're non-union. There are no rules.
There are none.
It's crazy. And I think that you know, that's something that gave me the idea of like, why don't I go to the work rather than just hang out and wait for it to happen?
And that was a lot what was happening with me too, because I just started getting back into the industry in 2020 when COVID hit. Crazy enough, like everything that year was lined up so beautifully for me. Like I was going out to interview Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, all this shit, like journalistic work, fucking canceled. It was because it was scheduled March fucking 15th or some shit like that. And of course, yeah. So I was working at Lowe's. I don't know why the fuck I was there, but I was working at Lowe's.
Atta baby.
And I was like a front end manager. So I kind of like ran the cashiers and stuff, override returns, all that fucking retail bullshit. But there was this family that would come in and they would be returning like bulk paint, wood, stuff like that. And eventually I was like, what are y'all doing? You know, like, what are y'all up to? And she was like, we're making a movie. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then we just kind of started talking more, and, you know, she was interested in what I was about to go do before it got canceled. And then it did. And she came back to me one day and she was like, so sorry that all happened to you. Would you ever want to work on a movie? And I was like, would I? You know? So, right. Well, as it so happens. So I got her number and she called me later that night, and her name's Ann Troy. I think she goes by Hammock now, but she gave me a call and she was like, hey, let's talk. What do you want to do on this movie? And I was like, I'll do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, she goes, okay. She goes, but like, what do you want to do? And I was like, ultimately, I would love to be in front of the camera. And she was like, oh, she was like, I wasn't expecting that. She goes, I don't know. A guy at Lowe's says he wants to work on a movie. I wasn't expecting an actor. And she was like, well, I'll set up a screen test for you. With the lead at the time, she was, because I have a role in mind. The role was written for a woman. It was a teacher. It's basically like the main character's confidant. They're a cheerleading coach. And I went in and I screen tested, and she extended the role. She wrote more scenes for me because she was just like, sweet, you know?
Hell yeah.
So I love that. I had a great time. It's called Here's My Voice. It's actually, they're finalizing a deal with Sony right now. So that's really fucking cool. Yeah, really fucking cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's been, you know, they've been working on it post-production for a little bit now because it's a really personal story to her. So she was very, you know, particular about how it came out. But it's a great film. I can't wait for it to come out. But because of that, she saw so much in me as well that I thought whenever like she was telling me this stuff, like, okay, well, it's going to come to me through her, you know? And the more that I sat on it and kind of waited around, that's kind of what got it turning in my head, that I was like, wait, why am I waiting for somebody else to do this for me? You know, like, that's not how it goes. She is working on her own damn thing. She's not going to do it for you, no matter, you know, how much she sees in you, how much potential she thinks you have. It's never going to come through somebody else. It's always going to come from you only, you know? So that was a fucking long-winded roundabout, but,
no, you told me stuff I didn't know, and that's awesome, dude. I love that kind of stuff. I love when you get a role and then they write more for you because you hit it out of the park. Right. That's happened to me one time.
For what? What project?
It was for a horror film. I had like said a certain thing within a monologue, and it was like a short monologue, and then they were just like, hey, run with that. And then so I just kind of improv'd off of that in this like monologue over the phone. And I like, after I watched the final product, I was just like, I don't know if they were just trying to stretch the runtime of this thing or not. Pacing's rough, but fuck it. You know, they liked it.
What do you got coming up?
Got a feature next month, which is another one that I submitted last minute and
nailed it, of course.
Yeah. I was back in Idaho introducing like the rest of my family to our daughter, and my aunt, like my wife was like, my daughter's teething, so my wife was taking care of her, and then we were over at dinner at my aunt's place, and I had my self-tape set up, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry, could you help me with something? And like I'm like checking my watch because I'm like down to the wire, like I've got 30 minutes to get this thing done, and I was like, could you help me with this? And she's like, oh yeah. And it didn't matter like how many times I explained it to her. Like she kept thinking she was going to be on camera. And then when I showed her, all she had to do was hold the laptop for me to read the lines off of, and she reads for the other characters. She was like, oh, okay. Like her nerves like went away. And then my her niece was there as well, and she was just like, oh, I'll come watch. And I was like, great. And so like I did like we did the read, and I only had time to do like one take, Yeah. Before that take, I was just like, lock it in, bro. And so I like had tears in this one take, and it was a long scene. I hate it when they submit self-tapes and it's like 6 pages, dude. It drives me bonkers. But yeah, it was a long scene, but it was a really well-written scene. And when actors get well-written scenes for like their stuff, incredible. Yeah. And the next day they sent me an email and they're like, we want to offer you the role. And I was like, are you sure?
That's just going to be definitive of your career, though. That's just the type of talent that you possess, Guy. You can just miss the deadline and throw in a tape and be like, I'm going to get it anyway. I just got it like that.
My best work is right at the end.
Yeah. Professional procrastinator. You work best under pressure.
I think it's just like an instinctual thing. It's like your first instinct is usually the right one, Why
is pressure so motivating for you?
Yeah, no, like it really is something I should probably get better at because especially lately over the last 5 months, I've been having to do self-tapes, just like perfectly timing like our daughter to sleep so I can do a self-tape and stuff like that. And so I do need to hanker in and not have much of a time where I'm stressed out of my mind and I'm able to get all of those tapes in, so
commitment is key for you. You need to put that on your resume or something like that.
Yeah. Should say that to my wife. Just remember, I'm committed.
I'm committed. Okay. I have one more question for you. You've been so great. And it is Avery related. When you started to characterize him, were there any terrible boyfriends in film that you drew inspiration from? Or was this very self-realized?
I haven't pulled from film. I've mostly pulled from there was a dude at when I first moved to Atlanta, I worked at a gay bar, and there's this dude that worked there that has really like I've pulled from so much. And I feel bad. I'm not going to name names. Has mostly inspired. He is somebody that I wouldn't be surprised that he cornered me and was like, I saw what you did.
I heard what you said.
Yeah. And so there is something to say about people that do live life always seeking the next high.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that live their life never seeking any type of like adventure, and there is something to be said for people that go out and, seek the thrill because, tomorrow is never promised. And it's, trying to find those sweet spots within Avery where even though he is just always seeking that thrill, there is something very genuine about it. It's like that childlike wonder never left, even though how immature it might appear to adults, that's always there. And that's kind of like, I haven't pulled from other media, but I have pulled from like real life and then parts of myself. So Yeah.
Just to quote the beautiful film perched above your head, adventure is out there. Adventure is out there. Seek it healthily, responsibly. Up.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Adventure is out there.
I was putting it together. I was like, that's
You're
not
like,
Lord of the
who?
Rings. I don't know about Harry Potter. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, it has been so wonderful getting to sit down and talk with you for this past hour. It is always so good to see that face, that mug, and talk to you.
Likewise, my friend.
I am so grateful that you came on and christened this podcast